Hi guys, it's me, it's Chelsea. Quick update. I probably look really terrible. I've been crying a lot. Last month hasn't been so good health-wise. The doctor's appointments I've been to, they haven't had super great news. I'll get more into it later when I can, talk about it without, totally breaking down. Yeah. Basically every test I've had since January, it's just not good news. And the genetic test results came back, and it wasn't great news either with that. And so I have my second MRI this week, and I'm just really stressed out because I've had 5 days. I've had migraines 4 days in a row, and it's all pain here and around my nose and my headache, right here. And this is really sensitive, and then I have pain in the back of my left skull. And my left ear has been killing me for 2 days. And I have cold symptoms like runny nose and sore throat and that kind of thing, and a cough. And if it's not migraines, if it's something like a sinus migraine, I'm just gonna have to kind of get through it because I can't do anything until Wednesday. Because I'm really restricted about what I'm allowed to have before my MRA, which is an MRI with contrast. There's really specific rules about medication that you can and cannot take, including even over-the-counter medications and holistic things like vitamins that you absolutely cannot take leading up to your MRI. I know I saw in the letter you weren't allowed to have any kind of antibiotics, be them prescribed or antibacterial drops that you can put in your ears or your eyes up to 2 weeks before your MRI. Yeah, so I'm not supposed to really be taking anything new, and if it's a sinus infection or ear infection, I'm just gonna have to get through it. But the headaches and stuff, it's just so much unnecessary stress because I'm already really stressed out over the MRI because, like I said, the news hasn't been so great. So there's now a lot riding on the results of this MRI. Because I'll just explain it really briefly. The genetic testing results didn't necessarily come back negative. They also didn't really come back positive. So they found I do have some kind of connective tissue disorder. It's a fibrillin-based one, which I think is related to the Marfan syndrome gene. But my genetic mutation is actually called a variant. It's a variant of the FB1N1 or fibrillin mutation. So it's a variant mutation of that mutation, and it said only 10 other people in the world have my particular mutation. So what happens is it's just a sequence. So what happens is, because there's only 10 of us in North America, it'll be a while before we can find out if it ever becomes its own condition or if it eventually is added as a subtype. A few connective tissue disorders, they have different types. They have multiple types. There's multiple types of LDS, and especially in Ehlers-Danlos, there's multiple types that you can have. So it's possible that Marfan syndrome is also like that, and there's subtypes that they haven't really discovered or researched much yet. Or this could become, my mutation could become its own condition one day. And I'm kind of thinking that's kind of the situation, because I have so many overlapping symptoms between Marfan syndrome and uodate and just other conditions that aren't necessarily related to Marfan syndrome that closely, or at least they haven't been until maybe now they're starting to be more relaxed and add secondary conditions to Marfan, like POTS, because they think I have POTS, or at least I have sinus tachycardia, and that's not often seen with Marfan. It was more of a uodate and Ehlers-Danlos, vascular Ehlers-Danlos kind of thing. So yeah, it was not great news. And I don't even know what my treatment plan is going to be. Unfortunately, I have no clue. I haven't spoken to the geneticist yet. So, I don't know if I want to push for West texting, which is whole genome sequencing, especially if this is not a subtype of Marfan. If it is its own condition, I want to make sure that we rule out as many secondary conditions as possible, or we just research and just look for other conditions, because you never know, because this isn't directly related to Marfan syndrome. It is a variant mutation, which I said could become its own condition one day. So I think it's really important to kind of rule out as much as possible, or check for as much as possible. And I don't know how this will impact things like heart surgery or monitoring. I don't know if they'll want to monitor me more or monitor me less, because this isn't strictly Marfan. This is a separate mutation. There's no rules. There's no guides. There's nothing to go by. So it's probably going to be really, the care is probably going to be based on symptoms and symptom kind of thing. Versus, none of us know what kind of common symptoms the 10 of us in North America all share. Which is what you would know with things like uodate or Marfan syndrome or Ehlers-Danlos. You have the symptoms lists and the problems it can cause. That's not the case here, because we don't know for sure if this is not a subtype of Marfan or if it will become its own condition one day. So treatment is going to be interesting. And the other really difficult appointment I had this month was the ophthalmologist. I went and I did it. I usually faint at eye appointments, like but I did it, got through it. I didn't even faint. It was perfect. And he said everything looks great. And then a few days later, his office called back and said she has to come back for more testing. And I'm like, why? Like, everything was good looking. And that phone call was before I got my genetic test results, so it wasn't based on that. Because he said he may or may not see me again based on my genetic testing results. But I think he looked in my file and saw the possible POTS diagnosis. And POTS is a form of dystomnia, which impacts how your automatic nervous system works. And I didn't realize that dilation of the pupils falls under automatic nervous system thing. So I think he's sending me back for the dilation test in regards to the POTS or sinus tachycardia thing, I think, because I haven't figured it out any other way. My doctor tried to get a hold of my cardiologist when my Holter monitor results came back, which my heart rate was an average of 110, but my heart rate throughout the 24-hour period went 24 to 185, even resting. So that's sinus tachycardia. That's kind of what they said. And sinus tachycardia, as I understand, is a type of POTS. It kind of falls under POTS, same kind of idea. But the echocardiogram results also came back, and my aorta in 2014 was 32. In 2016 it was 2012 it was 22. 2014 it was 23. 2016 at St. Paul's was 24. 34. These are all 30s, sorry. And now it's at 35. So it went from between 2011 and 2017, it's gone from 32 to 35. But the most concerning growth is obviously because my St. Paul's results at 35, and I had my echo last month, so with not even a full year between the two, and it grew again, so it's kind of interesting. My family doctor finally was able to get through to St. Paul's. He'd left them like multiple phone calls and messages, and I think there was a miscommunication because St. Paul's did call back, but they called the receptionist and didn't get a chance to speak to the doctor. So when I saw him, he said St. Paul's never called him back, but they did. It sounds like I'm going to go on beta blockers. And yeah, I'm going to go talk to the geneticist probably by phone call, because I really want to push for whole genome sequencing. And I want my parents to be tested too. One of my biggest concerns is that my brother, I have a half brother, he doesn't live with me, and we have same dads, different moms, and he has two little boys. So I'd really like to know if he's at risk too. I'm hoping that they might all just be lucky and it's just me. But still, genetic testing results, it was a catchment group of like 100,000 people with F1N1 fibrillin-based mutations. And the odds should have been in my favor. I should have been with the majority. Like, yeah, you have this exact mutation, like everybody has it, it's average. But no, I had to have the really, really rare one. There's only 10 other people in the world that have it. And who knows, they may not even all be alive. That's the problem, like, it's just because it's rare and it's not officially a part of Marfan syndrome, and it's possibly its own condition. Like, we don't know the risks or the symptoms or the signs or the secondary conditions related to it. We don't know how to do, like I said, I don't know how they will figure out how to do heart surgery and when, and how much monitoring I'll need. And the other thing I forgot to mention, but I have an enlarged artery in my clavicle. And see, enlarged arteries aren't related to Marfan syndrome. That was definitely a Louis Dietz thing. So like I said, it's possible that this isn't so much a Marfan syndrome thing as it's an unknown right now, or unnamed condition right now. And it's got bits and pieces from all the other connective tissue disorders. It's not what I wanted. I just wanted a definite diagnosis. So yeah, St. Paul's will get back to me after they get the results of this MRI, and there's going to be a little bit more blood tests ordered. And then hopefully I'll get to go back there soon. Yeah. And the good news is, I don't know if this is really good news, but my doctor cleared me to do the fun thing I wanted to do this summer, like this really big thing, and it's something I'm really passionate about and I love doing. And it's going to be a way to make Canada 150 really a memorable year. And he gave me the permission, or the okay to do it, under the impression that I'm going to be healthier, or at least more stable by summer. That would be like my ideal situation. Even if I wasn't competing for a pageant, like, oh, I guess I gave it away at a pageant. Yeah, it's a pageant. I'm going to go into a pageant in Ontario, Toronto, sometime this summer. It's a national pageant, so I'm really excited about that, but it may not even happen for sure because I might just not be well enough to do it. But even if I wasn't doing a pageant, I'd want to be stable by the summer anyway. And I guess the other concern too is we don't know if it's just going to keep getting worse. So, it's better to try and do this kind of stuff now before it might be too late. So, I'm just really hoping they get my issues sorted out, or at least stabilize me soon, and then I can start doing the fun stuff of preparing for the pageant. It's just been a really stressful time, and being sick so close to my MRI is just not helping, and neither are the migraines. It's just been a really hard last few weeks. I haven't had one good result. Even the blood tests they took in January, my kidney function was flagged. I'm gonna be getting a whole bunch more blood tests done this time around. Looking for rheumatology-based issues, or they're gonna test for lupus, because my mom and my aunt have it, and we can't rule it out. So I'm kind of already dreading getting more results from these things. And if I already have an enlarged aorta, like in the first MRI, they found the enlarged clavicle artery, and then the MRI or MRA is with contrast to look for arteries and enlargements or blood clots. And next we have to do the rest of my body, and who knows what kind of other artery issues I might have that I don't even know about yet. So I'm already mentally preparing to just get more bad news. It's just become really hard. Really hard. And that's why my doctor said, he agreed with what I want to do in the summer, because it would just give me something else to focus on. But if I'm not well enough to do it, it's a big financial risk for me, because it's a lot of money, a lot of preparation, and I have to be healthy enough to do it. I'm kind of running out of time because it's already April, May, June, July. Like, there's not a lot of time left, so just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So this month I go back. I have the MRI or MRA on Tuesday, and then I see the ophthalmologist and the rheumatologist, and then I'm supposed to also see my family doctor probably once he gets my MRI results. So who knows? That could be like a week after or something else. But it's just a month full of a lot of tests, a lot of stress. I'm just hoping that, I get something out of this. Destabilize me. They're thinking of putting me on beta blockers. It's supposed to help with my heart rate, which is usually on the high side. I'm sorry.